Hey guys, Shane here, Echo Soundworks. In this video, we'll be checking out the two easiest ways to create hi-hat rolls inside of Logic 10. So the first technique is more of a programming-oriented workflow. We're gonna be looking at how you can create hi-hat rolls inside the piano roll. Now the second technique is more of a performance-oriented workflow. We're gonna basically assign the note repeat to our hardware controller so you can treat Logic like you would treat a hardware piece like Machina or the MPC. So let's dive into Logic and get started. All right, so that bit at the end, that was a definite hi-hat roll. For those of you who are a little bit murky on what a hi-hat roll is, if you're a beginner, it's basically saying, okay, you're establishing a common tempo or groove with your hi-hat, and then you're gonna roll at different points, which means you're gonna go maybe from a quarter note like to something faster, right? And I was just playing that manually. So that's kind of the idea of a hi-hat roll. You use it to accent different parts within the beat. There's tons of reasons why you do it. It keeps things fresh. You can do things like triplets, dotted notes, really cool things, right? Now, there are two main ways, I think efficient ways to create really good professional sounding hi-hat rolls inside of Logic. Now, the first way is going to entail opening up your MIDI, your piano roll. Now, if you're a program-oriented producer, you like programming things in the MIDI roll, the piano roll, this will be the method for you. So what we can do is close the automation. Here's our drums. You can hit escape on your keyboard. It might be a different key command if you set up different key commands to bring up your tool palette, but you want to bring up your tool palette. And then in that, you're going to select the brush tool or hit B. So what you're going to do then is go over to your quantize drop-down menu, find the sample that's going to trigger the hi-hat sound. So right now, if I just click and brush, it'll brush in hits at a quarter note value for as long as I brush until I let up. Right? And you can go backwards to erase. So we can go. So I can stick a roll here, right? So what you can do is just change the quantization. So let's do a 16th note and we'll brush that in. So let's try this. All right, let's go back to a quarter note and we'll drop a quarter note here, here, and then let's go to do an 8th note triplet after that. Actually, let's do, I'm a big fan of quarter note triplets. And we'll just keep this other one quarter note. I like that right before a turnaround into a bar. So that's one way to do it. Very easy, simple way to do it. But for those of you who want more of a performance-oriented aspect, this next method is for you. So I grew up messing around. One of the first drum machines I ever got to use was a MPC. I really liked the note repeat function that MPCs have. Machina has it, right? So you can create like a performance-oriented method for creating your hi-hat rolls. So up here in your toolbar in Logic, if you can't see that, you might just simply need to go up here, hover over this little strip until you see this cursor, and then drag down the note repeat. So here's some kind of pro tips to set up the note repeat, especially for you hip hop guys out there. What I would suggest doing is assigning the note repeat to an actual button on your hardware MIDI controller, right? So then when you hit that button, you're in your note repeat mode. I think that works best because if you want to use that hardware, that tactile sensation or workflow, you're never having to open up anything in mouse. You just get to keep creating on your keys, or maybe you have a keyboard controller. Most of them come with pads now, right? Like mine does, and that's usually how I program drums in. So to do that, you can go up to Logic Pro. You're going to go to Key Commands. You're going to hit Edit, and then start typing Note Repeat. It's this one right here. So you can see that I've assigned it to a key, and I can delete this assignment, and then I can I deleted the touch bar, but I don't have a touch bar on this keyboard. So we can delete this assignment and then hit Learn New Assignment. So I'm going to show you this on a separate little video in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen right now. I'm going to hit this button. It's called Part 1 Next. I don't really use it with my keyboard. It doesn't do anything. So I'm going to hit that. And now we're good to go. So I can exit out of here and I hit this button and now I'm in the note repeat mode. So there are 2 ways to use the note repeat mode and they're very different and each are fun. Each kind of have their place. So they might get different results. So mess around with both. So the first way would be to assign the rate to the mod wheel. So as soon as we open this with our key command or if we click on it, we're in the note repeat mode. So if I hit D1 on my keyboard, that's our hi-hat. I'm just holding it down. It's repeating the note, right? So what you can do is you can assign the rate change to your mod wheel on your keyboard. So that's pretty cool. So you can choose a max and a min, and then you can choose whether you want to just have straight values like quarter note, eighth note, etc., or if you want to have triplets or dotted, right? So this one right here is triplets, that's dotted. So right now my range is a quarter note up to a 64th note triplet. So quite a big range. So what I can do now is I can hold my key on my keyboard that's triggering the hi-hat sample and move my mod wheel up and down. So that one's kind of cool when I think you're trying to find something new, right? You're trying to do something you haven't done before because you might stumble into some things. And it's also very easy to, if your hi-hats are on a separate channel, like mine's all coming from the same instance, same sampler right now, you can automate that, which is pretty easy. Now, the next method within this note repeat method is to use the key remote function. So right now, my drum sample is on note D1. Now down here, starting at C-1, I can change the values, the speed of the note repeat. So this is kind of like key switching. So if I hit D-1 while I'm holding down D1, it'll change it from a quarter note value, which we see here, to an eighth note repetition. And then if I hit E-1, 16th note, and so forth. So this one is it's I think my favorite way to do it. So what you can do is you can start to record stuff in. So let's right, and then as you do that and record it in, it will quantize it and put it in there for you. And then you can quickly go through and edit out hits that you don't want and tighten things up, clean things up. All right, so before we finish up the video, I'm going to quickly run through the sounds they used in this demo because I get asked these questions quite a bit. So the drums, they're just random drums from a couple different sound packs. Really only using 3 drums, right? The kick, snare, and hi-hat, I used Atlas for that. I like using Atlas because it's just it's kind of like a simpler, more simplistic battery. It's very easy to find samples very quickly, which I like. The 808, that's coming from a contact library, our contact library, Sub-Zero 808. Right, and it's just following the pattern of the kick drum. Pretty simple stuff there. Now the next patch, this one is a sphere patch with a little bit of processing. All right, and the audio down here, I'll quickly talk about this. If you guys want a whole video on this next topic, let me know in the comments and I'll make it. So basically, what I wanted to do is I wanted to play in like a key patch, but I wanted it to ultimately sound sampled. So what I did was I played this in. It's a patch from, I believe, Sphere again. And after I played it in, I purposely played it in higher than where I wanted this beat to sit. I think I played it in at F. This is in D. And then what I did was I slowed it down, exported it to audio, and then chopped up the audio, and that's what you see here. Right? It gives more of that kind of sampled, chopped hip-hop vibe, which is obviously what I was going for in this beat. Now, this next track down here is the same thing, just copied and pasted with some voodoo magic. I love how this turned out. And that would be good just, for breaks and stuff. We can mute everything else. So yeah, that's the sounds that made up this demo. Like I said, if you guys want a full tutorial on how I made that chopped up vibe for MIDI, let me know and I will make it. All right, guys, that sums up the entire video. If you have any questions or comments, post those and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you guys like this video and want to see more like it, please hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.